And tonight we are doing making the most of your makeup. And so some of you might already be using Savvy Minerals and some of you may never have heard of it. And we're going to do our best to cover our bases and kind of talk about it from every angle. And then next week, join us when we talk about essential oils and CBD. Okay, so the class overview, do you want to go through it?
Sure. So we're going to mix it up tonight. We're not going to go through the normal like we've done in this series. We're going to talk about a little bit how to choose a safe makeup, the Savvy Mineral difference, why is it different, and then what is out there. We're actually going to show you a video too. We'll go through the product line. We'll do some demo, and then we'll recap for next week.
Perfect. Okay, so super important, makeup is one of the most toxic things you can find in a household. So women, sadly, because we use a lot of cosmetics, we put on a crazy amount. Every day we're exposed to a lot, and we're actually going to show you a little video on that in a second. But our makeup, the Young Living Savvy Minerals makeup, does not contain talc, parabens, synthetic and lake dye, gluten, nylon, fragrance, nanoparticles, bismuth, and petrochemicals. That is super important. So for our foundation, we say no to bismuth. It's a possible skin irritant. And bismuth, for those of you who don't know what that is, I didn't when I was learning about this, it's usually the stuff that makes makeup have that sparkle or the shine. So Young Living have found other ways to do that is completely natural, so you still can get that sparkle, and we'll talk about that later. It's actually in the veil, which is our all over kind of shimmer. And we also say no to talc. Talc is kind of the stuff that you find in a lot of baby powders, really unhealthy, unnatural stuff. People liked it before because it actually they felt that it would keep things dry and therefore last longer. But it contains asbestos. That is a no-no. Okay, so what do we say yes to, Lorianne?
So we say yes to this kaolin clay. I might have butchered that name, but essentially it helps absorb the excess oil in your skin. And then you also want to say yes to the coloring from natural minerals versus the synthetic dyes that Jade mentioned earlier.
Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna, go ahead. We're gonna come back to tips and tricks, but here is a really cool video.
Young Living created Savvy Minerals with one goal in mind: confidence without compromise. This year, we're taking another step forward in our commitment to high-quality ingredients. Welcome to the clean beauty movement. We believe in using the cleanest, purest ingredients on the market. Every day, the average woman uses 12 personal care products that include over 168 different ingredients and chemicals. Don't you want to know about those ingredients before they touch your skin? We do. That's why we're excited to be totally transparent about what we use and don't use in our products, so you can feel confident about what you put on your skin. This information is our promise to continue using only clean ingredients and to never compromise on ingredients that are toxic or harmful to our skin or our bodies. The ingredients we love and will continue to use in our cosmetics are things like kaolin clay, aspen bark, shea butter, grapeseed, and Young Living essential oils, just to name a few. The ingredients that we're committed to staying away from are things like parabens, sulfates, formaldehyde, nanoparticles, lake dye, carmine, and synthetic fragrances, as well as anything on the EU list of banned ingredients. Watch out for our Clean Beauty 101 campaign kicking off this month. We'll share simple educational tools so you can learn more about Savvy Minerals and why it stands out as a line of premium products that are good for your skin. Together with you, we can be a force for change and lead the clean beauty movement.
Okay, go ahead, Lorianne, you want to say something?
Yes, so this, for those of you who don't know, is the Young Living's YouTube channel, corporate YouTube channel. So you can follow Young Living Essential Oils and check out their videos, and you can see that there'll be a video for every line that we're going to go through tonight. Some of them are a minute, others are like 8 minutes, depending on how in-depth you want to get. But there's pretty much a video for everything in this mineral line if you have a question.
Thank you. That's so helpful. So, I mean, one of the biggest changes I personally noticed, by the way, when I switched is, one, everything felt lighter. I never feel like I'm wearing makeup. And two, my skin got much clearer. I used to really not enjoy wearing makeup because I would notice that I'd get these breakouts. And so the best part for me is that they're using this clay, which actually is absorbing the excess oils and working to help your skin not break out, which is pretty awesome. So no clogging, it's actually doing the very thing we want it to do. Okay, so this is such a great little catalog that we're going to go through. And here's like just covering some of the makeup options that we have. So pictured on the left is our misting spray. And interesting about this is most other makeups, people think that this is what you spray at the end of putting makeup to have it set. Ours, we don't do that. We actually spray it on the brush and you hold it like where Lorianne showed you, like just, you know, a little bit away. And then you go and pick up your mineral makeup. And by the way, we actually put that makeup in the lid. So you would have your lid like this. You would actually just tap, tap, tap. We will touch on some tips and tricks, which I want to talk to you about. And then you would take your brush and actually swirl it in there and then use it. So that misting spray, one, smells amazing, by the way. It's one of my favorite smells. And two, it's the job of it is to pull it into the particles of these brushes. And by the way, these brushes are made, they're amazing brushes. And they come in, it's from Italy. They really searched far and wide for the best brushes. And the person who came up with this makeup line has been doing makeup for years and years and really knew the things that she wanted for all of us to have because she knows all the things makeup. And the interesting thing I wanted to tell you about that is that misting spray actually pulls the makeup, draws it up. It gets absorbed like onto these bristles quite high up. So you really need to use very little because as you're working it on, so it's coming off the brush, little hairs, and going onto your skin. Okay.
Then you have the primers, which are wonderful. There's 2 of them, so it depends on if you really prefer a more matte, less glow look, or if you like that glow, then you'd want that hydrating primer. Also, if you have drier skin, you might tend to lean towards the hydrating primer, but that would be the next step.
Cool, and that's also for people definitely who want like something a little bit heavier. So yes. I personally don't use the primer, but anyone who said to me, oh, I love the makeup, but it just feels like too light, this is for them. Or anyone that's dealing with pigmentation stuff that's not quite, they're not getting enough coverage, this is going to be the product for them for sure.
Absolutely. I think it also tends to cover, like I've used it before, like if I have a blemish, so to that coverage point, and it helps with that. So we released, or Young Living released just a month or 2 ago, 2 different pieces that have been asked for in the product line. And one is the concealer for like spot treatments, and the other is a foundation. So the concealer, and I will share these actually with you. I can share the PDFs with you if you wish in the follow-up email, or just ask us. And, oh, I got a little pop-up on my computer, sorry. Okay. But as you can see, there's multiple ranges and colors. We're going to get into how to choose your color in a little bit. Jane will talk about that. But that's just one thing to notice on here. Each of these are also designed to be blended together. So if you feel like you're kind of in between, you can actually blend yourself between the concealer and the foundation. The foundation, they've already released extra colors as you will see. So it's a really broad color spectrum, which is actually very unique to Young Living. And all the while they didn't compromise the quality. So they use avocado oil, which is the highlight of it. And then of course, the fact that it has the essential oils in it gives you an added boost. We're going to go back to this. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. There we go.
That's okay. So then moving on, there are many foundation colors. So there really is a very wide spectrum. The most important thing about color matching and finding what is your ideal tone is to kind of note, are you cool or warm or neutral? Not many people are actually neutral. It's pretty obvious people are either cool or warm. And so the cool tones are going to be anybody who has a skin type where it has a pinky color to it. So if you have anything pink-like to your skin, and it's actually very much outside of the thinking of fair or pale skin, that is not actually a part of this. So cool is going to be where you have those, like basically if you kind of went in the sun, you're going to go pink. So, and then red possibly. So you're not really tanning, you are more burning, and then maybe you tan later, but that is more of a cool skin tone. So you're going to follow the foundations for the cool colors, okay? If you find that you have more of an olive type skin or any kind of yellows or golds to your skin, then you wouldn't want to go with warm. Now, the interesting thing too is our makeup line is so forgiving. So I will tell you that someone like me, I use cool. I use cool too. And I absolutely have found that warm 3 is very similar as well for me. So I can use either or. And you'll also find that in summertime, of course, if you're exposed to more sunlight, then your skin tone will change. And so you can actually use, you know, different ones depending on where your skin is at because of the season. So basically you just want to look at the inner arm because this is where it's not exposed to sun. You can see already here the difference in skin color, and I'm barely in the sun, but there is a difference. And so you're going to focus on the inner side, kind of like imagine that we're frogs, right? And so it's the part that's touching the water, not the part that's exposed to the sun. So that is going to help you to determine whether you are cool or warm. And you do get a pretty good idea from those images which one you probably would be. So our very fair skin types, or the ones who really burn pretty quickly or easily, a lot of the time freckled skin, they're probably going to want to be either a cool one or a warm one. Those are going to be the lightest in either of those. And then it just goes on from there. But as I said, pretty forgiving. So I know Lorianne uses warm. And I also know that if her and I probably interchanged, it wouldn't be the biggest deal. Like it is forgiving. It's going to pick up your natural tone. The time where it's pretty obvious is if someone like me were to use a dark number 3. That it would be way too dark and it would be silly looking. Okay, so then illuminate your look. So we have 2 things to give us that shimmer and that glow. The one is a bronzer and the other is veil. So the bronzer is to give you that sort of sun-kissed look. And interesting is we have this brush for that one. It's angled, if you can see. So this is going to be used for the bronzer. And the best way to actually apply bronzer is to do like a 3. So you go from this part of your face in and then round and down. So you do, 2 3s on either side. And that is going to, as I said, give you that sun-kissed look. There are 2 shades in that. And then we also have 2 shades in the veil. So I love this veil. This is like the shimmer and shine. And you would just put a little bit into the lid. And then we're going to use this huge brush. And that's because it's just doing an overall sort of dusting. So that is what that brush is going to be for that one. And then before we move on, I'll just show you quick. And we will touch on the brushes, right, Lorianne? Yeah. So anyway, this is the foundation brush, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about why it's much more compact. Okay.
So then there's blush, which is one of my favorites. I actually love the one that's called I Do Believe You're Blushin'. It's pretty cute. But what you want to do on this one, same application in the sense where you're going to put it in the lid, and then there is a specific brush that says blush on it. So you do like that. And actually, I used to think that, like, probably because I saw my mom do this or something in the 80s, where she'd like pucker her lips and like go up towards her cheekbone. You actually don't want to do that with this. You want to go straight out underneath, which Jade actually taught me that. So it only took me many years to learn this, like this.
Yes, it's just a 1-line thing. That's exactly right. So not up.
Yes.
Yeah, that used to be cool, I think, in the 70s.
Maybe
Yes.
my mom, yeah. And I really like it, and I actually will sometimes go over my eyeshadow very lightly with it, just for like a little like pop, nothing crazy, for a very natural look. That's totally out of the rule book
That's
and
awesome.
rogue, but I like it.
And then over here in the blush range, you also have kind of the pinks, you know,
Mm.
and then you have more earthier tones like some browns. So again, depending on your skin type, like this girl that's pictured there has got a bit of reddish in her hair, and I believe she even is freckled a bit. So she's going to go with a little bit more of the pinky sort of orange tones. Whereas I actually, the one that I use is Passionate. And I will tell you that this one tends to look a little bit darker. Like you can see, it's the second middle one. I use very little, but it actually comes out so nicely after you've done foundation and stuff. And again, I mean, this, gosh, I'm almost embarrassed to tell you guys, I've never replaced this one, and I've owned this for about 2 years now. So I really use very little of it. Yeah.
I've only replaced it once, and I've been using it for 2 years. So there you go.
That's awesome.
Because I use it on my eyes too.
Okay,
This is just
so
fun. Oh,
go ahead,
sorry.
it's fun.
Yeah,
So
go
we're going to
fast.
talk about eyes and eyeshadow in a little bit. So they now have a palette. It's pretty new. What's exciting about our makeup range is that every year, and it usually happens around convention, they release more and new things, which is awesome. So people had said, oh, they actually want something that's in a palette that you could then use. So this is what we got. Of course, with this is more artistic people who like to blend some colors and learn little things like darker colors always look really nice, like just here, and then you can go lighter on the inner part. They often say this area that's right in the inner part of your eye, because it recedes, it often creates a shadow. So it's always nice to use a lighter color there, and it just brightens your eye and kind of lights it up. So you really can have fun. You do not need to be an expert. I have been fortunate enough to have a makeup artist who actually worked with Bare Minerals for 7 years. And there is 1 or 2 products that she did not love in Bare Minerals, but it was the best and closest thing to natural and non-toxic that we could get. And they actually took those out. So she is so excited and obsessed with Young Living's Savvy Minerals. And so she taught me a bunch of tricks and little tips that I'm definitely going to share with you guys later when we're done with this thing. With this part of it, sorry.
Awesome. And I'm working on my collection here, but so far, best kept secret residual, and I love this Freedom. It looks like it's really dark. It actually, because you can layer it, like all of our makeup, to make it the shade you wish. So it looks really nice. Jade, you're an expert over here with the eyeliner, a multitasker.
Okay. Which I actually didn't put on tonight, but I can actually demonstrate for you guys. So what I do with this one is multitasker. Instead of using, this is a brush, it's not actually a pencil. So what you do is you take your multitasker and you put a little bit into the lid. So a tiny bit goes in the lid. And then I actually just put my faucet on. So I add some water, and essentially I collect some of this, and I just go from the middle of my eye towards the outer side. And this is a terrible demonstration, one, because I didn't give myself any water, but it will stay and it will hold. Like you can even see the difference in just that little bit that I just did right now, and that's not even using much water. So I love this brush, and again, we're going to touch on brushes because you have the angle over here, brilliant for brows because you can actually use that in your brow, and then there's also just the plain part of it, so you can get creative and make it, you know, curve up or just go straight as you wish. So you get to make it as thick or as thin as you want. It's really easy to control and to do this. The only thing is, since you're adding some water, just let it dry before you open your eye, because it will want to stick to the top of your eyelid, but it takes 2 seconds to dry, really. Okay, then for any of the doing an eyeliner, you can see we have all different colors there. And again, these are also like eyeshadows. Now, I personally wouldn't use black on my eye all over. I would just do it for a line, but the multitasker must-haves, those are other options. So you could do brown if you were really more of that fair skin type or pale skin type. You can actually use some of those to just do something different and more fun. Okay, the lashes. Our mascara is really awesome. It's, do you want to talk about it, Lorianne?
Well, I was just going to say now, and I didn't pull the PDF on it, but there's two different ones now because there's a volumizing, right? And then there's the lengthening one.
Mhm.
I'm more of a one who enjoys the volumizing, and I haven't tried the lengthening, but that's all that is. I'll share those in the follow-ups because I didn't put it in
Okay.
my presentation.
Perfect. So yeah, it's really hard to find a mascara that is non-toxic as well, by the way. So before this, I was using 100% pure. I actually do like their stuff and it smells really nice too, but it's awesome that we now have this from Young Living as well. And of course, most of our stuff, as we all know, is infused with essential oils. This one's infused with lavender. Lavender makes our hair grow. So it's a great one to be putting on your eyelashes. How cool that as you're using mascara, your eyelashes are actually growing.
Also, I'll just say there's a really good video on the YouTube channel that taught me, like last night, actually how to shape your brow. And if you are somebody who draws in their brow or even just plucks, it's about 8 minutes. So if you have ever wondered how to do that, especially now when maybe you're not going to the salon and you want to do it yourself, you can check the video out. It's pretty cool. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so lips. I love that lip scrub. It's got poppy seeds in it, and you would use that before to actually just soften and moisturize the lips. I use this on my daughter every so often. She gets such dry lips, so we use that, and then you would just basically, it shows like how do you use it. You put a small amount, massage it, and then, I mean, I probably, yeah, thanks. You use a water moistened cotton pad to remove the scrub and follow with your favorite lipstick or lip gloss. So for me, with my little ones, I actually will have her use this at night, and then I follow up with just a basic, like I use rose ointment on her afterwards. For you and me, using the lip gloss or the lipstick would be perfect. So it's just a great way to kind of slough off dead skin and then get your lips feeling moisturized. I'm obsessed with that lip scrub. Okay, so lip glosses, another obsession of mine. This is always in my purse, and this is something, yeah, look, both of us have ours kind of nearly empty. This is something I'm using all the time. I actually have to like fight my little 7 and 5-year-old over this because when they see me use that, oh, I also want to use it because our lip gloss doesn't dry out your lips. It really lasts for a long while. So we have a lot of fun colors from the more natural. My favorite of all time is Abundant. I love it. I love it. I love it. So this one, and this, I promise you, has become my birthday gift for all of my good friends, even people who don't use any essential oils or any other products. We all love lip gloss. So this is something, it's like one of my tried and true birthday gifts that doesn't disappoint. So, and it smells amazing.
I was on that birthday list. That's why I'm on my third one since that birthday.
So anyway, that one and Embrace for me are my favorites because I actually prefer more natural and neutrals. But actually, if you even look at Lexi's picture of her right now, she looks like she's got a darker one on, which
Pretty.
Yeah, which looks really nice. I would guess that Lexi's one is either Anchors Away. That's probably my guess for what she probably had in that picture. So I love that. My sister's also much more bold when it comes to colors. I'm getting there, but for me, usually naturals. So we feel like there's 3 different kinds of the lipsticks that kind of go natural range, which is this first set that you're looking at here. Then there's more fun ones, like, you know, brighter colors, and then we'll talk about the following page in a second. So with the first one, we're basically dealing with just, except for this, what's it called? It's the third to last. It's kind of purpley, Dusty Rose, thank you. So that one I would say is the most like out there of that, which for someone like me, those shades are perfect. Like I would be okay maybe with that choice of that one, but the others, awesome, because they're pretty natural and I like to keep my stuff quite natural. But for example, my mother-in-law, she loves red and bright colors. Sadly, a lot of red colors come from crushed beetle. So for those of you who don't know, that's where they get the color red. So that is really not very animal friendly. Of course, our products have none of that. We are very, very, very animal friendly. And so these are some fun colors, and I have actually gifted her, and she really likes it a lot. So she's gotten one of those from me. Lorianne, did you want to say something?
I was just say I hadn't tried the lipstick because I was so happy with now I'll layer these if I'm really feeling like exciting. But Young Living actually gave these for Valentine's Day. They randomly sent out to members lipsticks as a little Valentine's Day gift. And that's how I got my first lipstick from them, which I thought was so cool. Like, who does that? That's amazing, right?
That's awesome. I love that. So here are some other colors. These really remind me of my sister. She loves to use these darker browns and some more intense. So it's still on the natural scale of things, but it's definitely more bold. So that is her. She really likes her lips to like stand out and, you know, be a highlight. So she loves these colors as well. And just something different, but the look of these are very different to the others. They're just like a thinner lipstick, whereas the other ones have more of a bigger surface area. So anyway, there's some fun colors to kind of play around with. And
I would just say they're also infused with the sentiment, like the chapsticks or the lip balms, which I've used the lip balm in it, and I just find it super hydrating. So I'd imagine that this would also be hydrating or extra hydrating.
For sure. Oh, right. This one has cinnamon. The one before, the bright bold colors, actually has tangerine infused. So again, our stuff is infused with essential oils, which is so nice. Okay, and then I was saying that before COVID, I actually have done makeup events at my house, and several of them where we actually get to color match and have people in person, which is always so fun. And they get to touch and see and experience all the products. We keep everything super hygienic and stuff, of course, where, you know, no one's using this lip gloss and passing it around. But sadly, we can't do that right now. But honestly, you just need to take a bold step and choose some stuff and try it, because I really feel like it's very hard to get it wrong. I really do. And if you do, it makes such a nice gift for someone. So, I mean, I've done that, and then I've gifted it to my mother. Actually, I didn't make the mistake, but I was gifted a lipstick. I'm like, that is too bold for me, like you, Lorianne.
Yes.
The one that you got. But I didn't love the color for me. So my sister was over the moon elated. So that was her gift for her.
My husband's order got one of the lipsticks too, and that was the really bold one. I got like Wish, and he got like this bright. He doesn't wear lipstick, but yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Judgment.
I got a really dark, like brown one, and I was like, no. Okay, the page before, did we need to say anything? Was that about brushes?
Yeah. So do you want to show the brush set?
Yes. Yeah. So you can buy a brush set, which Lorianne and myself have bought. It's totally worth it. And for those of us on essential rewards, or, you know, trying to find ways to, what do I need? How do I change up what I have in my house? The cool thing with the brushes is you actually get full PV for them, which is product value. So that's pretty cool, because sometimes with our products, you don't always get the full PV just because the value of them is actually higher than the dollar amount. So it's pretty awesome that all of these you get full PV. So this for me was a splurge. I got this for myself as a birthday gift. It was $85, but it has been the best money spent because this is all I use every day. I haven't needed any other brushes than what I got in the set. You can, though, slowly add other things. So just to go over again, the foundation brush, it's going to be more compact and shorter bristles so that you can really work that foundation in, okay? And when you start, people feel like makeup artists say some of them start with the eyes first and then they do foundation just to clean stuff up. You can do it the other way and do foundation first and then your eyes. I actually do foundation first and then I do my eyes. But everyone, there is no right or wrong. You can choose whichever way. So for me, this is my first brush. I do that misting spray first, and then I go and put some of the foundation into the lid. Whoops. And then I just rub it in, and you just work your way over your whole face like that. By the way, no jokes. I'm not a high maintenance person at all. To do my makeup for me in the morning takes me 5 minutes total. Truly, it is super, super quick. And you do see a difference right away. It's not like, oh, that was so subtle. Of course it took you 5 minutes. No, you can actually tell that, you know, like it's a natural look, but that's obvious. So that is our foundation brush. Then we have, I'll just show you like my favorites, but in this picture, you can see all of those. So then I go to my bronzer. So I use my bronzer next and I do those figure 3. So you're actually supposed to angle it with the shorter side down and you go like that and then twist it and do like a 3. You don't have to do this perfectly. There's no perfect or right way, but generally the bronzer we do a 3. Then you have your blush brush, so very little. Mine is like a darker color, so I use so little of that. And to give you a sense of how much of this makeup I personally am using, like this one here is my foundation, and on my whole face I'm using about that much, which is really not a lot, and it definitely has coverage. But the key is that misting spray, because it's going to pull all of that up and then put all of it on your face. So next brush that is going to do a lot for you is this one for the veil, which is going to put the shimmer all over. And then finally, the eye brushes. So this eyebrow one is great. I have like some crazy curly eyebrows, so this really helps. It kind of calms it down. I literally brush it out and then do this. And sometimes with me, for my mascara, if it gets clumpy, there's the other side, and I just, you know, run my eyelashes through that. So I don't use it often, but just if I did have a clump, I'll use that one. This is a must-have, which is that little one with the angle for your brows. And then to make the eyeliner, one of my favorite brushes. And the other one is, which I'm not seeing in front of me right now, I don't know why, it probably just fell, but it's the one to put the eyeshadow on. So that's all you really need, essentially. And then you can slowly but surely build it up. Lots of people who love makeup love that little short, fat guy down there, the kabuki brush. So that's another one that you can definitely get and use.
So cleaning your brushes is recommended at least once a month. It also depends like how often and how much you're putting on your brush and applying your makeup. But these are fairly new. I think Young Living released them last year. The key, and Jade, chime in too if you wish, but is that you run it ideally under water, under your faucet, angle it down, the least water, a little bit of bound water you can get on here, the better. You don't really want that, but angle the water this way. And then on this guy here, this solid makeup brush cleaner pad, you're going to you'll swirl it around on that pad. I don't actually have it right now. You swirl it around. It's going to actually get really foamy and get soap and suds and essential oils and all the things. It'll naturally go up to the top. Then once you have it sudsy enough, you're going to go into the silicone brush cleaning pad, and it actually is textured so that it's going to be a little abrasive but still gentle. And you'll clean it through there, and you'll basically watch as like all the gunk comes out of your brushes, and then you'll rinse again, and you basically rinse and repeat until it's running clear and there's no more makeup in it, essentially.
Right, and I do want to interject there and tell you that I used to take all my brushes and kind of dunk it in a little bit of thieves cleaner with water. I don't recommend that, honestly, because what happens is there is glue that is holding these bristles, and so you don't want to loosen that glue. It'll actually start making these beautiful hairs fall out, and you don't want that. So that is why we don't like submerge, and we do this method instead.
And there is a YouTube video for that as well from Young Living. And these makeup removers are really awesome because makeup removers tend to have like alcohol and all these things that really aren't for your face or any part of your body truly. But these actually are infused with essential oils, and they have none of the bad stuff. It has rose and all the things that are good for your face. So it's wonderful. Before this came out, apparently it was before me, but everyone was using like Seedlings baby wipes on their face, which also smell heavenly. But now they have one actually by popular demand for makeup removing. From here, we are going to actually go back to show you some before and after pictures.
Awesome.
That's fun. I feel like this is just a picture, but we've already kind of touched on this, how to test your color. So here we go.
Okay, so this was an event that I actually did. So these are people I helped, and we did, work together. It was so much fun. And so it was such simple stuff. I mean, no one did, like nothing took 3 hours to do. This is all quick 5-minute changes. And you can see the difference, just with our makeup line. So you can go dramatic and you can go natural looking. It really is totally up to you. So yeah, some of these are showing you the difference between, and this one's a good one to show you coverage. because, you know, I know a lot of people who feel freckled, they don't want their freckles exposed. So they are going to want to, I told you that's, you know, she's going to be using that primer and to get that even skin tone. Honestly, I truly, truly love our makeup. For me, this was one of my favorite ditch and switch little moves that I did. I did used to use MAC, and so I remember packing all of it away because I learned about non-toxic makeup and, you know, chemical-free living. So I ended up gifting that to someone who I know loves and appreciates MAC, even though I was like, oh, I actually feel so torn because I don't really want to be giving you this knowing. So I told her that and disclosed it, and she's like, thank you, I will gladly take it. And I said, okay, and when it runs out, promise me you're going to try this different stuff. She's like, promise. So anyway, it's a fantastic line. It's super light. It's really pretty. And what I love, there's also a beautiful video that we like tossed about sharing with you guys, which talks about how Young Living, the focus is also about your inner beauty and not so much about, oh, it just looks so pretty. And that the whole idea behind our makeup was to highlight what's already there. But the video is so beautiful that she basically says, you know, I'm a makeup artist. I do this every single day. I color match, I do all the things. But honestly, at the end of the day, the most beautiful woman is the confident woman, the one who is confident. And our goal here for you is to feel more confident, but not to hide or shy away, or it's to feel confident. So it's just to highlight your inner beauty. Okay, so more resources for you. So following this call, just to let you know, of course, we have a Facebook group. We have already friends in there. There's resources. It's called Essentially Speaking. And of course, we have our bigger one, which is Global Hello Essentials, where there's almost 40,000 people in that one. We have a WhatsApp group. It's called Essentially Speaking. So feel free to join. If you want an invitation, let me know. And then, of course, Instagram, where feel free to follow us there.